Good morning, guys. It's Darlene with Couture. We're going to make this fun kitchen sign today. We're going to use our frame. This is our Grayson style white frame. It is 12.5 inches by 18.5 inches. It is a Couture frame, and they measure from the inside, the usable space. So for Canadians, it is 46.5 centimeters by 30, looks like 32 centimeters. So it is a Couture surface, and it does not need to be waxed. These parts of our transfer have not been used before, so they will have to be fuzzed. We have silkscreen transfers. They're similar to a stencil, but they have a silkscreen in them. If you look at it, the little details here, they are on the silkscreen. So when you put it onto your surface, you have those cute little details on it. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started here. I've chosen my colors here, my Chalkology paste. I've stirred it up. It needs to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. This is our candy apple red. We have bright white. We have buttermilk. We have Couture teal, which I'm not sure if we're gonna use this. I'm kind of debating. I'm trying to decide. We have forget-me-not, although I'm switching on that. We have parakeet, and we have fawn. I'm trying to decide. I think I'm going to pull out a different blue that will go better. I'm trying to decide on my bowl up here, which color I want the bowl to be. Maybe, because I'm going to do Farmhouse. I'm going to do this red. And then, oh, maybe I should do teal. There we go. Okay. And then this will be fawn. And I was going to do white so that it pops. Bright white. And then down here, I'm just going to use in the center, I'm going to put Made with Love. And then I think under that, I'll do Fresh Daily. Made with Love, Fresh Daily. Or maybe I'll just do Made with Love. And then I'm going to use our strawberry jam transfer and put the cute little strawberry jam over there, and then on the other side strawberries. So I think I'll go ahead and get that out of the package. These come in a plastic package. On the back are the directions, so you can always refer back to the directions. So we're just going to use part of this one. Go ahead and get that ready. So I like to combine my transfers and do different things so it's not just all basic and the same. I think what we want to do first is we want to get our words centered here. And I have to make sure that I leave room for that jar. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I am going to fuzz this. It has not been used yet, so it is sticky on the back, and you don't want it to be too sticky. I'm folding my corners under. It makes it easier to pull off of my surface. On the back, I've put an X. You don't want to put your transfer back onto that side. You want to put it on the glossy side. I have a fuzzing towel. You can use any towel that has been washed. You don't want a brand new one. You can use your t-shirt if the transfer is small enough. We're going to peel the backer sheet off and then set your transfer down onto your fuzzing towel. You only need to fuzz it once because we are not layering. And I want this to be close to the top, so I am actually going to go up just a little bit. So there we go. And is it even? It is not even. I'm going to try again. This is your time to do this right. Okay, so I'm going right here, and then I'm going up. And I'm making sure that I'm even side to side, and that's still off. So take your time, do it right, don't get frustrated. The reason it looks off is because the words are in cursive. It's harder to get it to be exactly even. Okay, I'm going to call that close enough. All right, I want this to be in red. I want it to pop. I'm going to be okay with that if it's a little bit crooked. Get all your air bubbles out. Press, press, press. And then put some of your chalk paste on there. And then we'll use a squeegee and we'll start to get that smoothed out. Going to take a squeegee. This is our small squeegee. And I am just spreading it and pressing a little bit. You're going to press it down through the silk screen onto your surface below. Okay, so I scraped off the extra, I put it back into the jar. I'm going to set my squeegee to the side. I'll put a paper towel up here. I may need that one for, I might use the small one though, because I'm going to be doing the strawberry jam. You're going to pull it side to side or top to bottom, whichever works best. Do not pull it diagonally. This is going to go into a water bath so we can get that chalk paste off of there. We do not want it to dry on our transfer. A water bath is simply a container of water that you have available to put your transfers into. I'm going to dry this with my heat gun because I don't want to accidentally touch it and mess it up. It's too pretty right now. It's going to change color as it's drying. It's going to dry very fast. Now I'm going to return it to room temperature. You don't want to put your transfer down onto a hot board. I have it just on air, and you can see that the color changed. And then you're going to feel your surface. You're going to make sure it's not hot. And we're going to get this centered right here. Going to make sure, once again, that there's room for my jam jar down there. Yep. Okay, and then I'm going to do this next, and then I'll put my little cuties up in the corners. Actually, I could do that first. Let's do that first. Let's work top to bottom. I'm going to fold my corners under, and I'm going to fuzz this on my t-shirt. All I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it onto my t-shirt and I'm going to pull it off. And then it's going to go on here diagonally. You only need to press down where you're going to be putting the chalk paste. You don't have to press the entire transfer. I'm using fawn. And I could use a darker color, but this will be fine. Just need a little mini squeegee, and we really didn't need that much. So as I'm spreading it, I'm also scraping it. Scraping some of that off. It's just kind of a fast, quick process. Go back and get off the excess because it's just wasteful to leave it on there. You can use that again on another project. Pull your transfer. Put this into a water bath. And then we'll do the other side. We'll do our Couture teal on the other side. Gonna fold my corners under. I already have an X on the back of this. You're gonna save this backer sheet. This is going to go back onto it after you wash it. And this one, you can see all the little details there that are on the silk screen. If this was just a stencil, those wouldn't be there. Okay, I just fuzzed it on my t-shirt. Going to put this in the corner. I'm pressing right down there. I'm not pressing on the words. I don't want it to peel that up. Gonna put a little bit of chalk paste on there. Gonna use a mini squeegee. I love these mini squeegees. Oh my gosh, I say that all the time, but I really do because we used to have to cut them in half to get little ones. Chalk Couture is awesome. They listen to our suggestions. Eventually we get what we want. We just have to be patient. So you're gonna pull it, and there's your cute little bowl. Put your transfer into the water bath, and then this is going to go up here. I'm going to dry that really quickly. You don't have to, but I'm afraid I'm going to touch it. return it to room temperature, and this is how quickly it dries. It really does dry very, very fast. That is the great thing about the chalk paste, is that it dries so quickly. Okay, I want to have that up there. I want a little bit of a space, but I want to make sure that I have room for my jar at the bottom. This is a larger one. I'm not going to put this onto my t-shirt, although I have seen people do that on videos, but it's rather large, so I'm going to fuzz it on my fuzzing cloth. This is our Chalk Couture fuzzing cloth, and it is not quite long enough. So what you do on a transfer that is not long enough to go on the fuzzing cloth, you're going to fold it open halfway. You're going to press it down onto your cloth, and you're going to peel it off. You're going to put that back onto that side, and then you're going to do the other side. So you're doing half at a time. If you have a large towel at home, then that works great. You can use that. You do not have to have this. They're pretty, but they are not a requirement. You do not have to have this. Okay, so then you're going to pull the backer off of this, and we can just do it. We can do it like this, and then it will just lay down onto here. Pull that backer off, set it to the side. You're going to need that. So we're going to get this so that it is spaced the way we want it to be. It's really sticky still. When they're brand new, they are. So sometimes they can be harder to place because they want to start sticking immediately. Okay, I think we're good. I'm gonna go, usually I go center out, but I could tell there was a bubble right there, and I wanted to get it out, making sure all my air bubbles are out. And I want this to pop. I'm gonna do this in bright white. I could choose another color, but I think that bright white will be really awesome and dramatic. So I'm going to use my 4-inch handled squeegee with this. This actually, it seems like it's a little bit too thin. I probably added water before I closed it. I'm just going to stir and get some of the bottom stuff mixed in. You want it to be the consistency of sour cream or yogurt. And then you're going to just put some at the beginning, in the middle, and I'm going to take my 4-inch handled squeegee and just spread down, and then I'll put the excess back into the jar. So this is the 4-inch handled squeegee. This is removable if you wanted to just use that part, but I really, really like it for this. And I'll just start spreading up and down and across. Fill in all of the areas. You can see through this. You can see your chalkboard below. Gonna put the excess back into the jar. We don't need to waste that. And you want it to be nice and smooth. I got some on the back of it. You want your surface underneath to be nice and smooth so that your letters don't have creases on them when you peel this up. So take another look. I need to do one more swipe, and then I need to pull it. You want to pull it before it starts drying. So this one is going to be easier to pull it side to side. And you're going to pull straight up. And then this will go into the water bath. And what you can do on ones that are big like this, you can fold them. This is the non-sticky side. You can fold that together and then put this into the water bath. All right, and I'm going to dry that really quickly. I like that. I love how bright it is and how it pops. I'm going to turn it to air, so we just get it back down to room temperature. So you're continually moving your heat gun. You don't want to bubble up your chalk paste. And then feel your board. Make sure it's not hot. It's a little damp. I'm going to dry it more. Turning it to just air. Okay, it does dry quickly, but that was a larger area. So this is going to go in the center here. I've decided that I want this to just go in the center. And then we are going to tackle this. So it's going to be interesting because we only want the jam jar and we only want the strawberries. And I want this to be centered. So I actually could measure this. I don't generally do that. So center 18.5, so 9.25. Center is right here. So center would be about right there. And I'm not doing that part. I'm only doing the made with love. Okay, so center is about right there. Doesn't have to be perfect. I'm gonna peel this off. I'm gonna fuzz it on my t-shirt. I'm gonna put that right there and I'll measure it one more time. I kind of want it to be fairly close because I am going to, I'm gonna have something on both sides of it. So let's see how close we were. 9.25 is right there. Yep, I think that's really close. Now the jam jar is gonna have red on it. The strawberries are gonna have red. So the color I'm gonna choose is my Couture teal. I'm gonna bring down my color. You want to choose what colors you're gonna have together, coordinating and to pop from the top. So it ties that color in is what it's doing. You're gonna peel. So we only wanted the words on that side, made with love. I'm gonna peel this and put this into my water bath. I'm gonna dry this really quickly. Okay, so to work with this and only get the strawberries and only get the jam jar, we're gonna use some of our blue painter's tape. I think we'll tackle the strawberries first and we're gonna have to wash that. So I'm gonna show you what we have to do because we don't want that to dry on our transfer. So I have Clorox wipes waiting. So I'm going to put some blue painter's tape around the area so that I don't accidentally get any of this other area when I'm chalking this, because it would be very easy to go out of the area of the strawberries. This will make it easier for me. If you are confident that you're not going to make a mistake, then you do not need to do this. Also, I'm worried that it could pull up some of this. So I'm going to grab my backer sheets that I have. Hopefully. My package of backer sheets. So I have, this is how they come. So there, you can buy extra backer sheets. And we're going to protect this area so that this other transfer is not going to pull up any of that. So you can use these to protect. So this is what I am doing to protect that area, and I'll get something small. I have small ones. So I know it seems crazy, but I don't want it to peel that up. And I only want the strawberry part. Okay, so we're gonna peel this up, and I'm gonna lay this down on here. I think that I was trying to decide if I want to do it a little bit diagonal. I think I want to do it just a touch diagonal, just like that is good. See how this would have been up on the top of those words. So you're protecting it. You could use something else if you don't have extra backers, but they work great. So think about that. That's just a small investment, and it doesn't hurt them. You can use them again and again. So we have our strawberries, and then they have little leaves on them. I'm going to try my very best to to just get the strawberries. Oh my goodness. And then the leaves are going to be the top part. So I am simply going to try my best so that it looks like there's leaves on it. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Okay, filling in all of my areas, making sure that I don't see any black through there, and then I'm going to go up and I'm going to do the leaves, and then we're going to pull our transfer and clean it. So that's going to go right there. I'm going to get another multi-tool, and this is parakeet. I wanted a bright green. Now be careful if you put your multi-tool into the red, then you are not going to want to dip this back in to your jar without wiping it off. And I did kind of get that a little muddied, but I'm okay with that. So I'm going to wipe it onto here because you can see there's some of the red. Protect your colors. Don't worry if you're wasting a little bit of it. You do not want your colors to be blended. So then we're just going to pull this. We're going to pull our transfer up. And there's our cute little strawberries. All right, so I need to set this to the side for a minute. And then I'll dry those, but I'm going to show you, we need to wash this because we're going to use the bottom part. So I need to wipe this with my Clorox wipes. I don't want to put this into my water bath because I need it. I need to do the bottom. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this with a Clorox wipe. Going to clean the front. Red is a color that has a lot of pigment. You will see that red is quite messy. Sometimes it stains. We are getting the chalk paste off of the transfer soak screen area. We do not want to have it dry on there. So then take a paper towel and dry. And then we're going to flip this. Okay, so underneath, we're going to dry that. We're going to flip it and we're going to wipe the back. And then we're going to lightly dry this with the paper towel. Because we didn't soak this into our water bath, we can put the backer, we can lay the backer right back down on this. Okay, so our backer is back down. We'll wash this whole thing when I finish, and it is kind of damp. That's okay, because we're going to take it back off in a minute. We're going to do the jar at the bottom. So I'm going to tape off the jar area with my blue painter's tape because we only want the jar. We do not want all this other stuff. So basically it's like if you're painting a room and you had an area that you had to tape off, that is what you're doing. You are taping off the areas that you don't want to get the chalk paste on. So you can tear it into little bits and pieces, mold around the areas that you think that you might go a little crazy on. I'm a messy person. I don't trust that I can do this without getting some chalk paste in the wrong area. So my strategy with this, okay, there's 3 colors on this. The top part, the cute little top is going to be yellow. It's going to be our buttermilk. And then I'll have my strawberries that are the red, which is the candy apple red and parakeet. And then this part, the jar, is going to be white. So I have 4 colors on here. I bring this back, and our strawberries are almost dry, but not quite. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dry that really quickly with my heat gun, and I'm going to hold these. So I'm just continually moving the heat gun, and you can see the color changing. I'm going to turn it to just air to get it back down to room temperature. Okay. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put this here to protect that area. We have our cute little jam. So now we have to work from the bottom. This may be in the way of the jam jar. I'm going to have to move that just slightly up. And here's an idea. I'm going to tape this into place up here. Okay, there's the bottom of my letters. I'm going to tape this right here so it's not going to move on me. Do whatever you need to do to protect the area. I'm sorry that you're not seeing all the other cute stuff while I'm doing this, but this is what I do. If this was just a little cutout, it would be fine, and I don't want to cut my transfer to pieces. I want to make sure that I can use this again and again. So what we're going to do is we are going to peel this up. I'm going to peel my backer sheet up and kind of fold it under, and then I'm going to lay the jar down on there. It's a little tricky, and you don't want to get this stuck to itself, so make sure your area is clean. And then I want my jar to be straight. I was going to do it diagonal, but I'm going to do it straight, and I want it a little bit away from the edge. So I'm going to go right there. Press, 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 get all of your air bubbles out. You make sure you guys can see. I'm going to move these up out of the way. Okay, so getting all my air bubbles out. I have my strategy. I know what colors I'm going to do everything. I'm going to start from the top. I'm going to do the yellow, which is the buttermilk. So this is a light yellow, and it's called buttermilk. So I'm going to do the top part that color. You could do this. You could try to do this little bow a different color. I'm not. I am just going to do this. Has a few lumps in it. I'm using my mini squeegee because it is a big enough area that I can do that. Being careful not to get the little jar part. And we want to work quickly because this could start drying on us. Going to grab my multi-tool and do my strawberries. And then I'm going to do the leaves. Scraping as I go. Okay. Going to grab my multi-tool and do the leaf part, and then I'm going to do the white, and then we're going to peel it. And I got some of the red in there again. Oh my goodness. That's okay. Not gonna cry over it. Okay, but I'm not wiping that back into my jar. I'm putting that onto a paper towel. So think about that. And then I need a multi-tool for the white down here. And I see that I got a little messy with my red. We'll see how that turns out. The white is just the jar part. It is just this outline. So hopefully it will pop. and will show up nicely. Okay, smooth it out a little bit, and then we're going to pull our transfer because I can tell the yellow is already drying. Let me pull it up and see how we're looking. Have one area to clean up. Okay, and I missed the corner on the yellow here, so let me see if I can just get that little corner right there. So this is your opportunity to fix those things, to lay it back down. And then the top part too. So this top up here, I just didn't get it quite enough. Go ahead and peel it. All right, so there's a little boo-boo there, and that's okay. So my blue painter's tape did not cover that. I'm going to peel all of the backer sheets off, including the one that is on the back of the transfer. So here we are still on the back of the transfer. I'm going to peel that off and set that to the side. And then I'm going to take off all the blue painter's tape over here. You don't want to put this into your water bath with the blue painter's tape on it, because the adhesive will start to soften and will go all over. So we want to put this into our water bath over here. Remember what I told you to do. Take these guys and fold them, the non-sticky side together, so that it's easier to manage. So now you just have half the size. This will go into my water bath. As soon as I am done with this, I will wash that. Okay, so we have a couple little areas to clean, which is easy. This is water soluble. So I had, I guess it didn't cover it with where I had the blue painter's tape. And this here is just little dried areas that came off. So you can simply take a little pointy Q-tip and you can rub that. You could take a wet one and do it, but it does come off with just rubbing it, because this is a chalkboard. But if you want to, you can take your spray bottle, spray your Q-tip with water, and then just work it. It's water soluble, so it's going to come right off. So, you know, sometimes there's a little bit of cleanup, and that's okay. That's what's great about Chalk Couture, is that it is water soluble, it is forgiving. The chalk paste is awesome. Ink is not forgiving. You want to do it right the first time. Otherwise it's kind of difficult. You have to figure out, how can you fix it? Can you fix it? Sometimes you can't. So just be more careful with ink. And I really like how this turned out. I think this is cute. All right, guys, if you have questions about joining Chalk Couture, just put it down in the comments. I will get you information. It's an awesome company. I've been so happy to be a part of it and to add all of these fun signs to my craft shows. My customers absolutely love it, and several of them have signed up to be designers because they love it so much. So leave me a message if you're interested in joining. If you want to order and you can't figure out how to do it through the catalog, just let me know. I'm more than happy to help you with that. And have a wonderful day. I'll be back again tomorrow.